Welcome back to the channel, tennis fans. Today, we are witnessing a genuine paradigm shift in the landscape of women's tennis, a moment where potential finally crystallizes into undeniable ranking-back reality. We are talking about the 21-year-old Filipina sensation, Alex Eala. The breaking news shaking up the tour today is that Alex Eala has officially joined the elite field of the Mubadala City DC Open, a prestigious WTA 500 event in Washington, D.C. But it is not just the fact that she is playing that is making headlines. It is exactly how she got there. For the first time in a tournament of this magnitude, Alex Eala did not need to wait for a phone call. She did not need to hope for a tournament director's favor. She did not need a wild card. She has earned direct entry into the main draw purely on her own merit, standing tall as the world number 32. This is a monumental milestone in the fiercely competitive ecosystem of professional tennis. The leap from a wild card reliant upstart to a direct entrant in a stacked WTA 500 event is the ultimate proof of arrival. It signifies that her recent historic tear through the grass court season was not a fluke, but the crowning of a new contender. Eala arrives in the American capital not as an underdog, but as a proven threat, carrying the momentum of a historic Wimbledon run, where she became the first Filipina to ever reach the round of 16 at a major, including an earth-shattering victory over defending champion IJ Swiatek on center court. The Washington field she is walking into is an absolute gauntlet, featuring names like Alina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and defending champion Leylah Fernandez. Yet, Eala stands shoulder to shoulder with them, a top 40 player ready to conquer the hard courts. Today, we are going to dive deep into exactly how she orchestrated this phenomenal rise, the brutal realities of the WTA ranking system she just conquered, the tactical evolution behind her game, and what this direct entry means for her ultimate goal, the U.S. Open. Grab a coffee, settle in, because we are breaking down the undeniable rise of Alex Eala. Let us start by unpacking the sheer gravity of what it means to enter a WTA 500 event without a wild card. For the casual observer, a wild card might just seem like a standard entry ticket, a nice gesture given to local favorites or promising youngsters. But inside the locker room, a wild card is a lifeline. The professional tennis circuit is a grueling, unforgiving pyramid. At the base, you have thousands of players grinding through the ITF circuit, fighting for pennies and a handful of ranking points in obscure towns, often playing multiple matches a day just to break even. To climb out of that trench and reach the main tour, you need points. But to get points, you need to play big tournaments. And to play big tournaments, you need a high ranking. It is a vicious catch, 22 that derails countless promising careers. For years, Alex Eala, despite her immense talent and junior Grand Slam pedigree, had to navigate this exact labyrinth. Like many prodigies, she relied on the grace of tournament directors to grant her wild cards into higher-tier events, so she could test her mettle against the top 100 players. 16 months ago, just to get into qualifying rounds of the Miami Open, she needed that wild card. It places an immense psychological burden on a young player. When you are playing on a wild card, every match feels like an audition. You are acutely aware that you have been gifted an opportunity that hundreds of other players are desperate for. There is a sense of owing the tournament a good performance, a desperate need to justify your presence on the court. It creates a frantic, high-pressure environment where a single early exit can send you tumbling back down to the grueling minor leagues of the sport. But not anymore. By pushing her ranking to number 32 in the world, Alex Eala has effectively broken the cycle. She has seized control of her own destiny. Direct entry means she no longer has to check her email, hoping for an invitation. She does not have to alter her training schedule at the last minute, because a wild card suddenly opened up. She can now plan her season with the meticulous precision of a seasoned veteran. She dictates her schedule. This level of autonomy is crucial for physical and mental longevity on the tour. It allows her team, including her mentors at the Rafa Nadal Academy, to peak her physical conditioning for specific swings of the calendar, rather than constantly chasing points week in and week out. It is the difference between surviving on the tour and dictating your terms on the tour. To truly understand how she engineered this rise, we have to look back at the masterclass she delivered over the last few months, specifically her phenomenal, almost surreal grass court campaign. Grass is notoriously the most difficult surface for young players to master. The bounces are low, the rallies are short, and the margin for error is practically microscopic. It requires a specific kind of footwork, a willingness to stay incredibly low to ground, and a mentality that accepts bad bounces with zen-like calm. Historically, players from Southeast Asia, who largely grow up on hard courts or clay, have needed years to adapt to the slippery lawns of Europe, but Eala seemingly bypassed that learning curve altogether. Her season truly ignited in Birmingham, where she captured the WTA 500 title. That victory was a statement of intent, but it was just the appetizer. What happened next in Berlin and London will be written into the annals of Philippine sports history. In Berlin, she dispatched top-tier grass court specialists like Elena Rybakina and Alina Svitolina in back-to-back matches, showcasing a level of aggressive baseline returning that left commentators speechless. But it was at Wimbledon, the sport's most sacred cathedral, where she truly etched her name among the elite. To walk onto center court and defeat the defending champion, Iga Swiatek, is a feat that requires more than just physical skill. It requires an ironclad nervous system. Swiatek is known for suffocating her opponents with heavy topspin and relentless court coverage. Yet Eala, utilizing her lethal left-handed forehand, managed to dictate the terms of engagement. She took the ball exceptionally early, robbing Swiatek of the time she needs to set up her heavy ground strokes. She played with fearlessness that belied her 21 years. Although her run ultimately ended in a grueling, heartbreaking round of 16 clash with Jasmine Paolini, the message was sent to the rest of the locker room. Eala is not a future prospect anymore. She is a present-day nightmare for anyone in the draw. Now, she transitions from the unpredictable lawns of Wimbledon to the blistering concrete of the North American hard court swing, beginning with the Mubadala City DC Open. The transition from grass to hard courts is one of the most physically demanding adjustments of the season. The joints, which have spent the last month sliding and gliding on soft turf, are suddenly subjected to the jarring, high-impact stops and starts of acrylic cement. The ball bounces significantly higher, demanding a complete recalibration of strike zones and timing. Furthermore, the weather in Washington, D.C. in late July is notoriously brutal. The humidity is oppressive, often turn the court into a veritable sauna. Matches are not just won on tactical acumen. They are won on cardiovascular endurance and sheer willpower. But hard courts are where Eala's game was born and bred. Her playing style is tailor-made for the modern hard court game. Let us break down the biomechanics of what makes her so dangerous on the surface. Eala is a southpaw, and in tennis, being left-handed is an inherent tactical advantage. Her heavy, sliding serve out wide on the ad court is a weapon that right-handed players simply do not see often enough to comfortably return. It drags her opponents completely off the court, opening up massive expanses of real estate for her to drive her first strike into the open space. On a fast hard court, this combination is devastating. Furthermore, her backhand, a two-handed shot that is incredibly compact and solid, absorbs pace beautifully. When facing big hitters, she uses her own power against them, redirecting the ball down the line with astonishing disguise. Under the tutelage of Tony Nadal, the architect behind Rafael Nadal's legendary career, Eala has cultivated a playing philosophy built on relentless intensity and intelligent point construction. Tony Nadal has instilled in her the understanding that every single point is a battle of attrition. She does not just hit the ball over the net. She plays the geometry of court, constantly probing for weaknesses, manipulating her opponents out of their comfort zones until they surrender a short ball. The field she is walking into in Washington is nothing short of spectacular. It is a WTA 500 event, but it feels like a Grand Slam quarterfinal lineup. You have a defending champion, Leylah Fernandez, another young left-hander with a remarkably similar aggressive mindset. A potential matchup between Eala and Fernandez will be an absolute blockbuster, a battle of left-handed forehands and elite court coverage. Then you have seasoned veterans and Grand Slam champions like Naomi Osaka, who is steadily grinding her way back to the top of the sport. Osaka's raw, unadulterated power-off, both wings, presents a completely different challenge. If Eala faces Osaka, the match will hinge entirely on the first three shots of the rally. Can Eala's return game neutralize Osaka's colossal serve? Can Eala keep the ball deep enough to prevent Osaka from stepping inside the baseline and dictating the point? We also cannot overlook the presence of Alina Svitolina, Marta Kostyuk, and Madison Keys. Keys, on a fast hard court, is arguably one of the most terrifying opponents on tour. Her ground strokes penetrate the court with a flat, heavy trajectory that can blow any player off the court on a given day. To navigate this draw, Eala will have to showcase immense tactical versatility. She cannot play Keys the same way she would play Svitolina. Against Keys, she will need to play first-strike tennis, taking the ball early to rob the American of time. Against Svitolina, she will need to be prepared for long, grueling rallies, demonstrating the patience to work the point until the right opportunity arises. This is the ultimate test of a top-tier player. The ability to adapt their game plan on a daily basis depending on the opponent across the net. Beyond the tactical and physical challenges, there's the undeniable cultural weight that Eala carries on her shoulders. The Philippines has a rich sporting history, but tennis has rarely been at the forefront of national consciousness on the global stage. Eala is single-handedly rewriting that narrative. Every time she steps onto the court, she is not just playing for ranking points or prize money. She is carrying the hopes and aspirations of over 100 million Filipinos. She has ignited a tennis renaissance in her home country and across the diaspora. When she arrived in Washington, D.C., the reception was staggering. The Filipino community turned out in massive numbers, creating an electric, festival-like atmosphere before a single ball was even struck. For Eala, managing this immense pressure is a crucial part of her development. We have seen prodigies crumble under the weight of national expectation, but Eala seems to draw energy from it. She embraces the role of a pioneer. She understands that her success provides a blueprint for the next generation of Asian players, proving that they can compete and dominate on the game's biggest stages. Looking at the broader picture, the Mubadala City DC Open is just the opening salvo in a critical stretch of the season. Following Washington, Eala is projected to have a first-round bye at the National Bank Open in Toronto, a massive advantage that allows her extra recovery time in a grueling WTA 1000 event. From Toronto, the tour moves to the Cincinnati Open, another notoriously fast-paced hardcourt tournament. All of this is preparation for the ultimate prize, the final major of the year, the United States Open in New York. The U.S. Open is the most chaotic, energetic, and demanding Grand Slam on the calendar. The crowds are loud, the night matches run late into the early hours of the morning, and the pressure is palpable. Eala's entire schedule is meticulously designed to ensure she peaks physically and mentally for those 2 weeks in Flushing Meadows. Earning direct entry into Washington means she can approach this crucial block of training and competition without the anxiety of points chasing. She is playing freely, armed with the confidence of a top 32 player who just conquered the sport's biggest names on its most historic stage. The narrative has completely shifted. She is no longer the underdog trying to cause an upset. She is the seeded player that others are trying to avoid in the draw. She is the target. How she handles this new reality, how she adapts to being hunted rather than the hunter, will define the next phase of her career. But if her mental fortitude over the past year is any indication, she is more than ready for the challenge. She has the tools, she has the team, and most importantly, she has the self-belief. As we look at the landscape of the WTA right now, there's a distinct changing of the guard taking place. While established champions are fighting to hold their ground, a new generation is aggressively pushing to the forefront. Eala is undeniably at the vanguard of that movement. Her rise from relying on wild cards to securing direct entry into an elite WTA 500 field is a testament to years of unseen sacrifice, grueling training blocks, and an unwavering commitment to her craft. The Washington Open will test her, the North American hardcourt swing will exhaust her, and the U.S. Open will demand everything she has. But one thing is absolutely certain: Eala belongs here. She has earned every single ranking point, every main draw placement, and every ounce of respect she currently commands on the tour. To wrap up this extensive look at a truly pivotal moment in tennis, let's take a step back and appreciate the magnitude of Eala's achievement. She has effectively rewritten the script for her career, transforming herself from a promising wild card recipient into a formidable, self-sufficient force ranked 32nd in the world. Joining the elite field at the Mubadala City DC Open on pure merit is not just a scheduling update. It is a profound declaration of arrival. We have explored the grueling reality of the tennis ladder, the brilliance of her historic grass court campaign that propelled her to this point, and the complex tactical challenges that await her on the brutal hard courts of Washington against heavyweights like Fernandez, Osaka, and Svitolina. We have seen how her left-handed baseline dominance, combined with the strategic mastery instilled by Tony Nadal, makes her a legitimate threat to anyone in the draw. Furthermore, we cannot overstate the cultural resonance of her journey. By carrying the flag for Philippines and the broader Southeast Asian sporting community, she is breaking barriers and setting new precedents with every match she plays. The pressure of national expectation is heavy, but Eala has proven she has the psychological armor to not just withstand it, but to harness it. As she embarks on this critical North American swing, navigating through Washington, Toronto, and Cincinnati, all roads lead to the U.S. Open. She is no longer flying under the radar. The entire tennis world is watching, and she has proven time and again that she thrives under the brightest lights. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive into Eala's incredible breakthrough. The next few weeks of hard court tennis are going to be absolutely thrilling, and we will be here to break down every serve, every tactical shift, and every major storyline. What do you think about Eala's chances in Washington? Do you believe she has the tools to capture the title in such a stacked field? Or is this tournament more about building momentum for the U.S. Open? Let me know your predictions and thoughts in the comments section below. I read every single one of them. If you enjoyed this comprehensive analysis, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our in-depth tennis coverage. Until next time, enjoy the matches, and I will see you in the next video. No wild card, no favor. Eala earns direct entry to DC Open. For additional context on how her impressive grass court victories secured this main draw placement without needing a wild card, watching this breakdown provides great insight into her rising momentum.